Two.
Okay.
Hello, hi. This is LinkedIn again. This is our second video in our series of business boosts. I'm now with Simon Glenn, one of the co-founders of Meow Online Networking. How are you doing, Simon?
Well remembered with the business name there, Dwight. Thank you very much. I'm all right. How are you?
Good. How do you? So, describe your business. Tell me what you do. Your business and your services. What is it that you actually do?
Okay, so Meow is a lockdown baby. Love that phrase, lockdown baby. So an idea that occurred to me during lockdown when all the networking turned to crap. To be blunt, big face-to-face networker before COVID, and then when everybody started using Zoom and they were throwing 50, 60 people into a Zoom room, and like, this is as much use as an ashtray on a motorbike, basically, because you just can't get to know anybody, you can't get your point across, you can't be understood, you can't really get anything from anybody else. So I decided that I was going to create my own networking vehicle, if you like, with only 4 people in each meeting, because in the online sphere, that's about all that a video room can stand, where everybody can have the microphone switched on and communicate properly. And I called it a Zoom a day originally, because it really wasn't an idea for a business. It was just to combat the COVID impact on networking. But it was so ridiculously popular that my business partner and I, Chris, decided to actually turn it into a business, because I thought, why hasn't LinkedIn done this already? Why haven't they allowed us to just network among ourselves? You know, the whole, why do you have to wait for a networking event? Why do you just have to throw up a post on LinkedIn and hope it reels something in? Why can't you just go out there whenever you want, you know, every hour of every day around the world, and just meet new people? Why not?
I've joined your network, and that's one of the things I found really good is the fact you can jump on at any point in the day, in the week, when you've got free time, and that's very good.
That's the thing, you see, that there are lots of different networking opportunities out there, you know, the BNI and all the other ones that have sprung up. Quite a lot of different brands have sprung up now, but they're not every day. There's not something every day. I mean, there's some that are getting close, but why not every day? Why not on a specific subject? Why not for a specific area of the world or the country? Or, you know, that's what we're doing now. We're creating meetings specific to a subject, an area, a country, both in some cases, you know, tech and startup networking for the UK or the north of England or whatever, bringing people together in a very advantageous way. And the whole point of Meow is that anybody can network. So, you know, 1,000 people could turn up at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning for the everyday networking. We just call it every day, where there's no specific subject. So 1,000 people could turn up at 10 o'clock, and we would sort them on our platform. We wouldn't do it ourselves. Meow itself, the software, will sort them into rooms of up to 4 people. So no limits, but then the limit on the number of people that are actually talking to each other, the perfect combination, basically.
So would you say that is your USP, or what is your USP, your unique selling point?
Well, it's 2 USPs really, isn't it? It's much more regular networking than anywhere else. It's the reach as well, because we're going to give you the opportunity to choose to speak to people in America, for instance. We're about to be putting some American hours on there. We're also going to be putting hours on for Australia and India, and, you know, so you'll be able to have that opportunity to go, right, I'm going to go to that meeting to reach that audience. And also the 4 in a room thing is the real USP. It was the USP we started with, because, like I said, you put any more than 4 people in an online space like this, pardon my phrase, my French, it turns into a shit show, because you know, you just put one more person, you put 5 people in a room, and suddenly everybody's talking over the top of each other. And I'll just a bit of science for you. You look around any networking space, or even a christening, or anything where people are stood up talking in a space, and you just watch how many people how many groups have more than 4 in them.
Yeah,
it's really interesting. You stand and watch them. I've done this because I was doing it last night. Stood in a space and I saw a 5th person join a group, and I knew for a fact, because I've seen it so many times, that it was only a matter of minutes before at least 2 of those people started talking to each other in a side thing and kind of peeled away. And it happens every time. It's just human nature. 4 people is the most you can have, or should have, in any conversation, really.
So, can you give me share some kind of your milestones in your progression and your from the start? What is your been the big milestones in Meow?
Well, the biggest milestone was launching the platform in the first place. We did, like as I explained, the Meow started on Zoom, and we ran that platform with the help of human hosts, because that's the only way we could have done it, for 12 months. So, well, I started in April of 2020 for the pandemic, and it was April 2021 when we first launched our platform, and we went from 1 meeting per hour, or the opportunity for 3 people only to network with a host. We went to infinite people. I keep getting my hand slapped by our dev team for saying infinite, but a lot of people could network in the same hour, and the platform would separate them into rooms of 4. And by the way, the bit I haven't mentioned is there's no need for a host on any Meow meetings, because the platform, the software hosts the meeting for you. It gives you all the time clocks, and you all each get a number, and everything's automated, apart from the things that we put in the hands, control into the hands of the user, like screen share and permission for that, breakout rooms at the end of the 45-minute meeting. The users are in control of that. Everything else is automated. And that's what we moved to. We moved to that. Anybody can network. An infinite number of people, I'm still going to say it, an infinite number of people can network, and our software will handle that and put them into rooms of 4. That's one of the biggest milestones. Another milestone is getting your first investment, of course. That is a real milestone. We actually bought some champagne. It's cliched, but we did.
So what are your business goals, and what are your objectives with Meow?
Well, right now, our sole aim, our sole goal, is that on Coming to America? Oh, that's Soul Glow, isn't it? Soul Glow is users. All we need to do now is fill the platform with as many people as possible. So because unlike a lot of other platforms, we're all about the more people that are a part of it, the better it gets for everybody.
Absolutely.
So we are on a massive recruitment drive now. It's just, we've got the software, we've got the model. The more people we bring in, the more meetings we can put in, we can spread out across the world with the relevant subjects. It's all about recruitment now, basically.
Can you share some marketing insights? So how you researched your market and your clientele and your target audience, the type of people that you want on the platform?
I'll tell you what, I'll be 100% open here. We haven't done any research on our audience, because we were the audience. We basically know all the people that we ever met at networking are our audience. We're trying to attract ourselves in a nutshell. Now, when we move across the seas, of course, that becomes a little bit more difficult, a little bit more outside our sphere of experience. But we know exactly the kind of people we need to be working with, who are going to get the best out of Meow. And it's people like we were. I worked for myself as a graphic designer. I did for 13 years. I thrived through networking. It was my only outlet, my only form of marketing, my only form of new business finding. Everybody like me that could provide a service remotely or otherwise is the perfect client, the perfect user for Meow. Same for Chris. He was a sales professional, worked on his own, service-based, and people like him as well. We know exactly who we need to be speaking to, and those are the kind of people that turn up to a BNI meeting, the kind of people that turn up to Yorkshire Mafia meetings, the kind of people that turn up to all those kind of turn up and talk meetings. They will love Meow.
So what challenges did you face when you were setting up the platform and the business? Could you give us a bit of an idea?
Well, the biggest challenge for Chris and I is that Neither of us know one end of a piece of code from another. The non-tech founder, that's what we are. there's a bewildering number of podcasts, meetings, fireside chats about, do you need to be a tech head to be a founder? And right at the beginning we were like, no, of course you don't. We've got our outsourced dev team, we're doing the business and everything's fine. But I'll tell you what, it doesn't half bloody help if you are a tech head, because just knowing what you have is a good start. You know, for a long time we didn't really understand, and we still don't fully understand, of course, because we're not in that headspace. But for a long time we didn't really understand what we had and where we were going. You know, we've plugged a lot of those gaps now. But that's been our biggest challenge, is being in a space for the first time. You know, we've both run businesses before, but we've never run this kind of business. You know, the project management, the you know, when to release, how to release, you know, product market fit. Product market fit has been a huge challenge for us as well, because our original model, it was just too ambitious to launch with this, because we originally launched on the hour, every hour, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And we were just naive in thinking that we could bring enough people into that immediately to make it work overnight. You know, if LinkedIn had poured in 750 million users, then it would have been an overnight unicorn. But of course, we're not LinkedIn. So product market fit was a huge lesson for us. And human nature, we've become students of human nature as well as a result. You know, if you give people infinite choice, they will do nothing. If you don't guide them, it's just, we're not criticizing anybody. We're exactly the same. You've got to give people some direction, and now we've found that. Now we've found the way of doing that. We're giving people what they want, rather than trying to re-educate. We thought we could re-educate the world. I don't know what kind of pompous arseholes we were back then, but yeah, to think that you have the power to really change people's behaviour is a bit naive, isn't it?
Yeah. So you've obviously got a team around you. What part does the team play in the platform, the development and the management of the platform? What is your can you explain a little bit?
It's an extremely small team, Dwight. There's myself and Chris. Chris is the CEO, which he claims to hate being called, but we know the truth. Spends a lot of time in London. So Chris is finance, I'm product. So you know, the whole idea is in my head, basically. And we have Maisie, the wonderful Maisie that works with us. She's our front end developer. She has really brought us on, because just having somebody, we've got an outsourced dev team who are great, by the way. And we wouldn't be where we are now without them. But having Maisie in the office with me has really accelerated how much we can get done. Turns out that a lot of the functionality that we're using specifically is the front end element of it, and she can do so much. The platform looks better, it feels better, it functions better, we're moving more quickly. It's been brilliant. So we have, like I said, a very small outsourced dev team, and then there's basically three of us running this business. And just goes to show what you can achieve with a small team these days with an online business. I mean, you look at Meow from the front end. If you didn't know me, you didn't know Chris, you didn't know anything to do with it, it probably looks like, and it's very easy to make it look like, you know, a company, a business that's got thousands of staff, you know, sitting somewhere in a space in Leeds. But it really doesn't need it. Really doesn't need that. It probably will be one day, you know, when we get even bigger than we are now. But it's you can go a long way with a very small team.
Can you give us a little bit of an insight of your marketing strategy, how you gain new clients and how you retain your clients? What is your strategy?
Our approach in the past has been, it's the marketing and the product market fit have done a horrible dance together for us over the last 18 months. We had the wrong product market fit. We were going out with the wrong offer. So when we applied marketing, and it was mainly paid social marketing, we spent a hell of a lot of money and pushed people at too slow a rate into our platform to make it work. We really, there was nothing really wrong with the marketing strategy. It was the product that was at fault there. But we learned that lesson. And now, I mean, we spent a hideous amount of money on paid ads last year and the year before. But now we are actually just, instead of relying on the social media platforms and other engines like that to find our audience for us, we're actually going out and finding them ourselves. Going out finding Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups that have all got, you know, relevant interests. Like there'll be a business group for Leeds, or a business group for London, or a business group for creative freelancers, or mums in business, or whatever the subject matter or the location is. And we're going out and finding these groups and letting them know about Meow.
Yeah.
Well, do you know the best thing about that? It's free.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I use the platform, and I find that you got those groups, because I used to use Meow last year when you used to do the by hour, but I find now with when you got your actual topics, those are so much more beneficial. So yeah, I really want to go into that meeting. I want to,
yeah, they're a nice little fire for people to gather around, aren't they? You go, yeah, that's a topic I'm going to be interested in, and I'm going to be interested in the people that are interested in that topic.
Tell me about how AI, because I know you use AI on your platform. Tell me how that groups the people together, because
the AI isn't in operation yet. But we're working with another company in Leeds who have developed. Basically, they've developed something that sounds a bit like Skynet from Terminator films. That is so intelligent, it's frightening. So what we're going to be using that for very soon is to compare our members' profile. You get a profile, a user profile, just like on LinkedIn. On Meow, you fill that in, number of questions that you're asked about who you are, what you do, what you're looking for, who you're looking to meet, that kind of thing. Our AI looks at that and gives you a score against every other user. So when those users, so say I'm user 1 and I've been ranked against user 2, 3, 4, and 5. So when we're all in the gathering point, as we call it, the waiting room at the beginning of a Meow, sit there and gather everybody together, and then the AI looks at the scores of each person against each other, the rankings, and then goes, right, those 4 should be in a room together because they've got so much in common. We'll put them together, and these 4 will go in that room, and these 4 will go in that room. So what we're not saying is that you will do business with these people. What we're saying is you have similar interests, and we will shortly be moving on to using the transcribed conversations that the people have within a Meow. And it's all anonymized, don't worry, we're not going to report it to the police or an employer or anything like that. We use the transcribed conversations from each Meow to again apply to a user's profile and use that to help score against other people. And that will also bring in then the way that people communicate, you know, their style of communication. People do business with people they know, like, and trust, right? That's probably the first thing I ever heard when I went networking. People do business with people they know, like, and trust.
Absolutely.
And knowing them is about meeting them in Meow. Liking them is about communicating in the same way. If you have a similar communication style, you have a lot more chance of getting on with each other.
Absolutely.
And that's where the AI really comes in putting people in rooms who are going to get on. and therefore have a better meeting, a better experience, you know?
Absolutely. So can you share a memorable customer feedback or a success story?
Well, there are two actually. The customer feedback one was a lady who, I mean, Chris and I have been users of the platform from the get-go, and so we've got to meet quite a few of the people that have been using it over the last 2 years. However, we received an email from a lady that neither of us had met, a lady called Anna, and she sent in a video of the most wonderful testimony. Chris and I opened it first. I went, "Do you know who this Anna is?" And he went, "No." And I went, "She seems to like meow a bit." He went, "Oh, right, what she said." She basically, she'd come on and she said, "I just had to let you know that I haven't been on Meow for quite a while now, but I just had to say that when I did come on it I think it was in May. I came on in May, I had 3 meows, and we call them meows, by the way, not meetings.
Yeah.
I had 3 meows and I got so much business out of it, I haven't had time to come back on."
Awesome. Wow, that's awesome.
And that's when I started describing us as networking Nicorette, because we were busy getting rid of our own clients.
Yeah,
We're getting them so, and we had that so much as well. We had people that had been on from the very beginning, bumped into 2 people at the Yorkshire, Brand Yorkshire, up in Harrogate. One of them tried to hide under a table to get away from us. And I actually went, "Jenny, what are you doing?" And she went, "Oh, Simon, I'm sorry I haven't been on Meow." First thing out of her mouth was, "I'm sorry I haven't been on Meow in a while." I went, "It's all right." They're like,
Yeah.
and she said, and then without me asking her, she said, I haven't been on for ages because I got a contract that I was doing 4 days a week for a client, and I got that on Meow. So,
Okay.
but that's coming to an end next week. So I'll
Awesome.
be back on the platform day tomorrow. I was like, "It's fine."
Don't panic.
So
Don't panic.
we've had plenty of feedback that people have had good experiences and got things out of it, and not just new business, by the way. We've had people that have had great advice as well. You know, young people starting new business. We've got a lot of young people starting new business as students. Had 2 sets of students come on the platform very early on, and the amount of advice they got from old greybeards like me and others
Good. Awesome.
has proved invaluable.
Wow. So what can you tell me? What are your future plans with Meow? How do you want to develop it further?
Well, obviously we need to build the audience. We need to spread out across the world, which is what we're doing already. But the next thing is we're going to be providing a white labeled version of Meow for large organizations. Large organizations. No, large organizations to use internally. Whether it be an organization that's got members all over the world, or it could be a big business like, I don't know, a big PwC or something, a big accountancy firm that has staff all over the world. We want to give them their own space to network in and collaborate, and what do they call it? Idea exchange or whatever. That's the next step. Is to move into that space.
What advice would you give a business owner wanting to start up or to scale their business? What from your experience with Meow, what kind of advice would you give a potential business owner?
The first thing, and I'll talk to the ones that are just starting out. We still need to scale, so I don't feel like I can pass anything on to them just yet. I'll talk about the startups. If you have had an idea on your own, please don't have the mindset that you need to keep it all to yourself. Right? Don't go thinking, this is my idea, I don't want to give any of it away. I'm gonna run this myself. I'm gonna get it all done myself. If you have a skill, like I did, I'm a designer, so I could design Meow. I had Meow in my mind, but I had no idea about business. No ideas about business. No ideas about fundraising. all that business side of things. I had no idea. If I had tried to do it on my own, I'd probably still be sat in my bedroom scratching my head. I'd have got as far as designing a logo, probably. But I got together with Chris, and he couldn't have done what I do, and I can't do what he does. Neither of us are tech heads, so we could do with. We will eventually need to bring in a tech founder with us, but we covered a huge portion of what we needed to do just by having the two of us. And like I said, he couldn't have done it alone, I couldn't have done it alone, but we've got where we are by teaming up. And I see a lot of founders out there trying to struggle on and do it themselves on their own. And it's a lonely place, Dwight. It's a very lonely place.
Absolutely. No man's an island. No man's an island. We got to.
All women.
All woman, no person. Put it that way. So what do you have? Any final words of wisdom or advice that you could give people out there who are running their own business or struggling with their own business or starting their own business? What advice can you give as a final words?
Well, it sounds like I'm trying to feather my own nest here, but I would say network. And I don't just mean on Meow, I mean network in general. In fact, networking in your city, in your area, face-to-face is a good thing to do. Get yourself out there, meet people, because not only will it help you in what you're trying to do, you talk to people, tell them what you're trying to do, tell them what you're trying to achieve. They can introduce you to the right people, or a chain of introductions will get you to the right space. But also, it will increase your reputation, your persona, your authority within your area, and people will start to come to you for advice eventually. So I would say get out there, get to as many events and gatherings and seminars and whatever else as you can to meet people, and you'll find that not only brings introductions but also knowledge. There's a lot of knowledge out there that, I mean, if I think back to what I knew in April 2020, and I look at myself now, good God, the learning curve I've been on, and it's only through being in the community, in the tech or the startup community, that just washes over you. You can't avoid it. If you just put yourself in that space, it will come at you, and you will learn. You might not get it all on the first night, so keep going to different events, and eventually it'll wash over you long enough for you to pick it up.
It's the idea of what you said earlier. People buy from people who they like, know, and trust. So the more people like you, the more people know you, the more people will trust you, the more people will come to you for business, for work. So no, that's good. So I just, as we say, thank you very much, Simon, for joining me for this time. I know you're in a bit of a time constraint. So, but if anybody wants to contact Simon, his details have been scrolling at the bottom of this video. Join Meow. I belong to Meow. It is a very good platform. They did a relaunch. Well, they did a relaunch recently, and I think from what it was, I thought it was very good in the beginning. What it is now, I think, is absolutely better. So thank you very much, Simon, for your time. Thank you for joining, and see you later. Okay.
Thank you, mate. See you soon.